Hello, you gorgeous people. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining. My name's Tara and I'm here to help you make confident choices with your beauty buys. And today I'm finally getting around to reviewing the Divine Rose palette, the Mothership palette from Pat McGrath. Here it is. Now, yes, I bought this limited edition pink palette. The last time I looked, these were still available on the Pat McGrath website. I know that the original black cased ones certainly are still available, but yeah, I grabbed myself one of these. First off, let's look at some swatches, the top row from right to left here. So we have got Skin Show Nude, Velouria, Sable Bronze, and then the two special colours, we've got Refined Gold 002 and Iridescent Pink 003. So that's the top colours. And then the bottom row, we've got Extreme Mahogany, Lovelace, Rose Dusk, VR Rose Venus, and Astral Solstice, which is this. Woo, that sparkly one there. Now you might hear a little bit of drilling going on. I've got some builders in, but I was really keen to do this review, and I did want to spend quite a while looking at this palette. I haven't done a 10 palette before, so I really wanted to make sure that I spent a good amount of time talking about it. At some point you should see a video of me applying the palette. I've used this VR Rose Venus, and then I've also used this Sable Bronze, and then a little bit of the Skin Show Nude, and the Extreme Mahogany, and then I have actually used the Iridescent Pink as a highlighter, which is a real bonus to this palette actually. I didn't know that there was a highlighter shade in here, but this is one of the shades that appears in Pat's Trio. Can you see that? And I have that on my skin today, where I would normally apply my highlighter, and it just does have a really lovely warm pink glow to it. So obviously in terms of the packaging, it's beautiful, hefty, it looks gorgeous, no complaints there. Now colour wise, I will say I did know that this was sort of a popular palette because it's wearable and it's more everyday, and the downside of that is that this palette doesn't really have what I would call real pop colour, a real wow colour. I do have one other Mothership palette, Bronze Seduction, which really has some stunning colours. There's a bright red in that palette, which I adore, and I feel this palette doesn't have that sort of special pop colour. But I really like the VR Rose Venus, which is this kind of duochrome orange to pink, which I have on my lids. So I really do love that. In fact, these sort of special shades at the end, these four, I do think they are all absolutely incredible. And this one, this is called Astral Solstice. I have used in the corners of my eyes. That's a beautiful shade. There are no sort of gritty glitter shades in this palette. And then I have to say the star for me is really this, this highlighter, but then also this lovely gold. So for me, there are 5 shades I really love in this palette, and that is all of the sort of the special shades, these 4 at the end. And then this one here, Velouria, which at first I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do with it because it comes out quite pale on the lids, but what I've used it actually for is as a kind of transition. So I've done my sort of cut crease in that colour, and it just really softens the look. So this palette, there's 5 shades I absolutely love. The mattes are, I feel they're a little bit more powdery. I feel there's a bit more kick up than with the mattes I have in the Bronze Seduction palette. I also love the tones of the Bronze Seduction mattes more. There's the darkest colour is darker, and you can get really deep with that one. So I don't actually like the mattes in here as much as the mattes in the Bronze Seduction palette. This tone, I guess it's nice to have a kind of champagne-y tone that you can put as a sort of little highlight on your under your eyebrows. I do have a lot of colours like that. And then these 2 browns, which are Sable Bronze and Lovelace. I kind of feel they're both fairly similar. I'm not really sure. I kind of have used them to sort of smoke my eyes out a little bit, but I feel they're very similar. And then this Rose Dusk, which I do believe appears in a few other palettes. I haven't really used that much. So for me, it's definitely these 4 special shades, Velouria, and then I do use the Extreme Mahogany, but actually what I have found myself doing is mixing the shades in this with my Bronze Seduction palette, which is also an option. You know, you don't have to use every story in this palette. You can mix and match, and they go really well together. So there's a bright poppy red in the Bronze Seduction palette, as I've mentioned, and you can use that with this Velouria and then a little touch of this over the top. You can do loads of stuff. So for me, this palette didn't wow me as much as Bronze Seduction when I first got it. I do love how this looks. I do love the special shades. I'm glad I bought it. I think the quality is amazing. I possibly would have liked a richer tone with the mattes, and I think maybe one of these could have been swapped out because I feel they're quite similar. But overall, it's definitely a palette that I will use. I think I might use some of the colours with other palettes. So this Astral Solstice with this VR Rose Venus, and even this Refined Gold I will use together maybe with the Bronze Seduction palette. I have to say the highlighter, the Iridescent Pink 003, I have used every day as a highlighter. Overall for this palette, it's not my favourite Mothership palette. I only have 2, and it's my second favourite, and I have 4 Pat McGrath palettes overall. I'd love to know if you are thinking of getting any of the Mothership palettes. Which one were you thinking of going for? Have I swayed you to go for this or not? Would you like maybe one of the palettes with a few of the poppier shades, slightly more daring shades, or do you think that actually this is exactly the colour story you'd be looking for an everyday eye palette? I would love to know your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching. I've got loads more coming up. I've still got Charlotte Tilbury, Queen of Glow. I'm going to review that palette. I'm going to compare that with Victoria Beckham's Silk Brick. I'm hoping to get some Natasha Denona in the new range, her sort of bronze range. The eyeshadow and the face palette are in, and I'm hoping to get those in very soon. But for now, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my video. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you very soon. Have a great day.